"Choose your sword, human," said the alien queen, and I just smiled. The courtyard of the alien palace shimmered under the twin suns. White marble pillars lined the combat arena, their surfaces etched with intricate runes glowing faintly blue. Around the ring, hundreds of alien warriors gathered, their crimson eyes fixed on me, the only human ever to set foot here alive. Above them all, seated on a black throne, was Queen Zera, ruler of the Verathi Empire. Her towering frame was armored in scales of living obsidian, her hair flowing like molten silver down her back. A sword longer than my body rested at her side. She stared at me, gaze sharp enough to pierce steel. "Choose your sword, human," she commanded, her voice echoing like thunder. I didn't move. My hands stayed at my sides, empty, relaxed. The silence that followed her order was suffocating. Whispers rippled among the aliens. Was I insane? Did I not hear her? Or was I mocking her? I simply smiled. The challenge had been simple. Survive one duel, earn your freedom. Lose and... Well, no human had ever survived long enough to tell the tale. I'd been captured during the last battle between our races, dragged here in chains as a curiosity, a relic from a species they considered extinct. Queen Zera had offered me a deal in front of her court. Fight me. Prove your worth. If you win, you leave. If you lose, you die. I knew there was no winning. Not against her. But dying. That wasn't an option either. The weapons laid before me were alien masterpieces, curved plasma-forged blades, staffs tipped with energy crystals, war axes humming with restrained power. Each one could cut me in half with a flick. I didn't reach for any of them. The queen's fury. Zera rose from her throne, her clawed fingers curling around the hilt of her massive sword. "Do you defy me?" she snarled, voice low and dangerous. "Are you so arrogant that you think you can face me with your bare hands?" Her warriors jeered. Some spat insults in their tongue, words I didn't understand but felt in my bones. I met her glare. "No," I said quietly. "I'm not arrogant." "Then why do you smile, human?" "Because," I said, "I don't need a sword to win." Gasps swept through the crowd. The queen's pupils narrowed to slits, glowing brighter. She leapt down from the throne in one fluid motion, landing so hard the marble cracked under her feet. The duel begins. She swung her sword in a wide arc, testing me, her movements impossibly fast for her size. The blade hummed through the air like a living thing. I sidestepped, heart pounding but mind calm. My advantage wasn't strength. It was knowing something she didn't. Humans didn't fight like the Verathi. We adapted. We endured. Her first strike came down like lightning. I rolled aside, the blade slamming into the ground where I stood a second ago. Shards of stone exploded upward. "Coward!" she roared. "Survivor!" I corrected, ducking another swing. Memory of Earth. Every move I made was rooted in memory. The training drills back on Earth, the desperate fights in ruined cities, the promise I'd made to my dying captain. No matter what happens, live. Show them what humanity is. The Verathi fought with pride and honor. Humans fought with desperation, and that made us dangerous. Turning the tide. Minutes dragged like hours. Sweat burned my eyes, my lungs screamed for air, and still she pressed me, blow after blow relentless. But with each strike I saw her pattern. Her footwork was flawless but predictable. Her reach was long but left her exposed at close range. Finally, an opening. I feigned a stumble, drawing her in. When she lunged, I darted inside her guard, slamming my fist into the weak joint under her ribs. She gasped, more from surprise than pain. No one had ever dared strike her like that. The crowd went silent. The human way. I don't need a sword, I said again, backing away. Because everything I am, everything humanity is already a weapon. Her eyes narrowed. For the first time I saw curiosity there instead of contempt. Show me, she whispered. And so I did. I ducked her next strike, rolled under her blade, grabbed a shard of broken marble from the ground. Not a weapon by their standards, but good enough, and drove it into the cracks of her armor. She roared, spinning, her tail lashing out and knocking me across the arena. Pain exploded through my ribs, but I stood. Always stand. Always get back up. Her warriors were chanting now. Not insults, but something else, excitement. They'd never seen anyone push their queen this far. The final moment. Zara lowered her sword. Enough, she growled. Finish this, human. I staggered toward her, every muscle screaming, vision swimming with blood. She raised her blade for one last strike. And that's when I stopped. Dropped the marble shard. Thutal. I don't need to kill you to win, I said. She froze. The crowd went silent again. I held her gaze. Your people think strength is about who's left standing. Mine know it's about knowing when not to strike. Her sword trembled. Slowly she lowered it. The queen's decision. The arena erupted in shouts. Confusion rippling through the ranks. The queen turned, silencing them with a single raised claw. She looked back at me. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Finally, she said softly, "You fight differently than any being I have known. You endure where others fall. You refuse the blade. And still you stand." Her lips curled, not in anger but something like respect. "You are free," she declared. "And more than that. You are welcome here." The roar of the crowd was deafening. Aftermath. Later, as I was escorted to the palace's healing chambers, she approached me again. No throne, no audience, no sword. "You smiled when I told you to choose your weapon," she said quietly. "Why?" I managed a tired grin. "Because I knew my weapon was something you couldn't see." Her eyes glowed faintly, softer now. "And what weapon is that?" "Hope." She said nothing, but her expression told me enough. For the first time, the alien queen understood what made humans dangerous, and why we were worth saving.